Hey guys, welcome back to Code&Gamology. Today we're making a game called Fly Eater. You're probably wondering why I'm making anything to do with these annoying Buzz, unlike Buzz Lightyear, more like Buzz, annoying my ear creatures. Well, probably because I found one in Fiffy's mouth, my dog, and then she was like eating it. The first sight I saw was like she was shaking her tail and then she was like scrambling around. I opened her mouth and then, ew, there was a fly like flat right inside her mouth. And then like she ate it, so it was disgusting. And then I checked on Google. Literally, flies are packed full of protein for dogs. That's disgusting. Anyways, let me demonstrate the game. You use arrow keys to move. You can use your click space to use your hands to hit them. Okay, I'm hitting it. Now, after 10 seconds, you'll have this cupcake display with 11 flies. How many flies do you have on your score, actually? Okay, time for the making. So we're gonna make our game. As I always say, let's start with our backdrops. I chose this forest backdrop. You can choose anything in the Scratch backdrop library, or you can draw your own. Okay, our first thing is we need to draw a fly. What's a fly game without a fly? How I draw this was with a hatchling, 2-leg costume one, the hatchling, this one. You can transform it, but you can also just directly draw it. Now we're gonna want to duplicate this so we have 2 flies. And then you can call one Sprinkles. I love to name my sprites Sprinkles because at the end, the flies will be the sprinkles on your cupcake. And then hatchling. Actually, I should call this one Fly. Fly. And then my dog, I got this Sprite, the dot Sprite from the Scratch Sprite library. But I took off its helmet and altered it a little. Now it's my dog, Fiffy. Anyways, you gotta have 2 costumes. One is closing and one is opening her hands. Or you can have just a random gorilla or something. Or human that closes their arms and then splats the fly. As most of you already know, I love to name my sprites. I named this one Insect Killer for a reason. When you use your hands to splat the fly goes into a state called falling animation. That's when the fly turns around in a circle while descending slowly. Now when it touches the insect killer, it disappears. But wait, there is more. Where is the insect killer? The insect killer is located on the bottom of the screen. Now, why can't we see our insect killer? Be sure to do this also with me. That this insect killer, it's matching the same color as the ground of my game at the very bottom. This is called camouflage. Now you can use camouflage, otherwise you'll see a giant line on the bottom of your game. And we're gonna duplicate our main character and voila, I'm just gonna add a cupcake on. Now, there isn't anything without a thumbnail, right? Making videos in YouTube require them too. This thumbnail is just more like an end screen, but it's still a thumbnail. How did I do this? You can move your character's arms to match it, and then you're probably wondering these curly words. There are different styles of writing, and I kind of did this little thing where I stuffed the flies into the areas where they could make a nest and stuff. Okay, now let's start with coding our fly. Yeah, fly. So we're gonna create a variable right away. They're very useful. We're gonna make a variable called score. We're gonna hide. Remember, disappear from the human eye's view. And forever, it's gonna create a clone of myself. So it's basically duplicating this fly, and then it's gonna wait 0.2 seconds, You can chain it to 0.2 seconds, and that'll make them spawn really quickly. Remember, this is the spawn speed. And then now this clone is going to create a clone of itself, and then it's going to go to here. the clone's code. It's going to show go to pick random -250 to 250, the y -196. Why is that? Because -196 is like all the way down here, and it's gonna glide pick random 1 to 5 seconds to x pick random -250 to 250 y 135. You're probably wondering why. It's gliding to the top of the screen. Its gliding speed is 1 to 5 seconds. It's random. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds, and 5 seconds. And then it's gonna glide any place on the top screen over here. I'm just going to delete this clone. We're going to create another variable. This one is called timer, and we're going to set it to 10. You can set this to anything you want. Resetting this will mean you have to reset this too. However, it's going to place this buzz. Now you're probably wondering how I got it. You can have another device like a phone or something and then play the sound on YouTube or something and then get here and then click record. When it starts gonna hide forever, repeat it 10 times. Wait 1 second, change timer by -1 and go to front layer. Now why? Because we set this timer to 10. So if we were to set this to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, we'll have to turn this to 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. But never change this from 1. And from this, or if you want to, wait 2 seconds, and then this has to be -2. It's going to broadcast message 1. Stop all script and Sprite, and stop the script. Now, when it starts as a clone, point in direction 90, so it's right. And then repeat if touching the color of Fiffy's cape. That's what I did. But actually, any body part that only shows on this fly hitting costume. You're probably wondering what that means. If you look very closely, you'll notice a difference immediately. That Fiffy doesn't have a cape when she is preparing to attack, and has a cape when she attacks. Now that is everything, because the color of the cape is going to repeat. Once it touches the color of her cape, it's going to repeat until touching the insect killer. Stop on strip and Sprite. Repeat, turn 15 degrees and change Y by 5. Turn 15 degrees. It's turning in the right direction, and then it's turning clockwise, and then it's going to change Y by -5, which means it's going down. So what happens is that it's turning while falling, so just spinning while falling. It's going to change score by 1, create clone of myself, start sound snap, and delete this clone. Now it's a time to have this music thing. We need to make our music loud enough. You see, these original sounds won't do. If they won't do, then you gotta louder, softer, faster, slower. I made this bossa nova at the loudest you can get. Okay, in order to understand this thing I'm talking about right now, you need to understand different layers. Do you know front, back in Scratch? If you know that, music is kind of like that in Scratch. The louder the sound is, the more of it you can hear. But the smaller it is, it might be covered by another music, so you can't hear it at all. Now what I've done here is I made them louder, softer, and faster and slower, so that they go at a comfortable range, very near each other. And then, so that means the original music, or the music you want to hear the most, is on the top, while the music that kind of just wants to be a background music goes on the bottom. And then the music that just occasionally sweeps up can be in the middle. When start's gonna also set the volume to 100. Now volume has another thing to do with this high 3-layer cake. So because the louder a music's volume is, the louder it can get. So its volume is basically increasing the height of all of the three music. And this one is going to go to -228 and then 26, and it's going to hide. When I receive the message 1 broadcast by fly or dot or whatever, it's going to repeat score and create clone myself, go to front layer, wait 1 second, play sound. This is just kind of a victory music, so it doesn't need to be changed. When I start as clone, it's going to show, go to a random position, and then glide to pick random -72, 66, -77, -31. Yeah, very complicated coordinates. Now I'm telling you why they have to be so complicated. So actually, this is not complicated at all. First thing first, we want to set our y. So imagine little barriers. You see that this cupcake over here is not a square, so it is not equal on every side. And that means that if this thing was straight, not curved here, then you could just use the top, the bottom, this, and this. But that won't work with this cupcake since it's round. You gotta imagine if you set that it can go to the x here, what happened if you set the y, that it can make sure that it can go here. These coordinates are very specific. Now, let me show you how to make these coordinates. So first, you can grab your little fly guy or sprinkles and then bring him or her to the edge of the cupcake. And then what is it? We can change it to -41. Okay, let's change it to -60. Let's change it to 79. Let's see, what's our y right now? -60. So we can say -60 to -17. Now we should be able to glide to anywhere we want inside of this. Okay, let's do this guy, cake holder. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make it show variable timer and the show variable score. Now why? Showing a variable means you can hide it. Now show and hide variable are the same things as show and hide to sprites, except they're hiding and showing the variable display. And then we're gonna hide ourselves, and then when I receive the message 1, we're gonna show or appear visible to the human eye. Let's do this guy. So this is our thumbnail. So this thumbnail just comes in a lot of videos and it's very useful. Okay, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna set the ghost effect to 100, forever go to front layer. Now you're probably wondering why this is true. Well, imagine the ghost effect as a sort of blanket for it. Now, our sprite is lying underneath the blanket. And then, at the end, when you click the stop sign, the blanket is pulled away. Now, once the blankets are pulled away, the sprite is just standing there, and you'll see it. Now, our final sprite is our dot. When start forever, if the space key pressed, then it's going to switch costume to .c2 or the close arm dot. And then else, it's going to open its arms. When it receives message 1, it's going to hide. And Sprite's going to show forever in the key controls, the key code. Okay, congrats, we completed the game. Now it's time to test it one final time. Okay, the flies. I feel like I'm not getting any flies. Why is it so hard? Ha, ha. Okay. It works! Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Bye!